Today's video was recorded at the Mount Olivet Cemetery, located in Olivesburg, Ohio. The paranormal investigation discussed in this video involved two firsts for me. Number one, it was the first time I ever investigated someone I actually knew in life. And number two, it was the first time I ever asked a spirit to take a puff on a cigarette, which I video recorded and will present for you shortly so you can draw your own conclusions. In this photograph, you can see the K2 meter, which detects electromagnetic fields, lighting up to a 2, in response to my asking my friend, pictured on the clipboard, if he remembered me, Lieutenant Clark. In this photograph, the K2 meter is lighting up to a 3, in response to my asking my friend if he was at peace. At the time of his death, there was some speculation as to whether or not foul play was involved in my friend's death. In this photograph, the K2 meter is registering a 1, which indicates merely that it is on, in response to my question whether or not there had been any foul play associated with his death. In this photograph, the K2 meter is lighting up to a 3, in response to my asking my friend if he took responsibility for his death. I asked this question after getting no response for over a minute when I had asked if there had been any foul play associated with this death. I had heard that one could get spirits to take a puff on a cigarette. My friend and fellow ghost hunting enthusiast Caitlin told me that she had got a spirit to smoke a cigarette but did not video record it. Ever since hearing this, I wanted to give it a try, and my friend Ben seemed like the perfect candidate with whom to try it. I only needed to figure out a way to make a contraption which could facilitate a spirit taking a puff on a cigarette. This is what I came up with. I cut a piece of metal coat hanger and pinched a clip on the end. Pretty simple, huh? The way it works is to stick the coat hanger into the ground and balance a lit cigarette in the V formed by the clip and ask the ghost to take a puff. Now watch the following video clip of my asking my friend to take a puff on a cigarette donated by my living friend, Dustin. Hey Ben, if you'd like to take a puff, can you puff on that cigarette? Take a big draw on it? I'm going to try to get a little closer. Can you take a puff of the cigarette? Let us know you're here.
Holy shit.
Did it puff?
Well, there's not really much wind out here. And I saw it go back.
Can you take another drag? Can you light the K2 meter up again so we can get it on video?
How about this? Why don't you smoke that and tell the K2 meter you're here, buddy? That'll be awesome.
We just want some type of proof that there's life after, okay, thank you, that there's life after death. And that's what you just proved to us. Thank you. Now can you take a puff on the cigarette? Let us know you're here. When you drag on a cigarette, it turns red on the end, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You can tell it's...
Make the end of the cigarette turn red.
I mean, it wouldn't last this long. It'll just go out. If there was wind, see? On the edges.
Okay, so are you smoking that cigarette? Can you take a big drag on that cigarette? I'm pretty sure you were a smoker. I don't remember you smoking in the pods because they were non-smoking, but I think you smoked. I hope we're not making you smoke and you don't want to. Is that you don't like smoking? Light the meter up and we won't make you smoke. Light the meter up again if you don't like to smoke. Whoop. Did you knock it down? Go ahead and put it out.
Put it out.
Well, he lit it up saying he didn't like to smoke, and then he just lit it up again, and I think he knocked it off the stand. So you didn't smoke. I couldn't remember for sure whether you were a smoker or not. Sorry for making you smoke if you didn't want to. Can you light the meter up to let us know that you understand? Okay, I'm going to turn the video off. This is a picture of Dustin holding the cigarette which the alleged spirit of my friend Ben had just puffed on. The brown on the filter is nicotine from someone or something inhaling on the cigarette. When I told my friend Caitlin about this and showed her this picture, she conducted an experiment with a lit cigarette and informed me that there are no nicotine marks on the filter of a lit cigarette unless someone inhales on the cigarette. In case the viewer could not tell from my remarks here and during the video clip, I'm not a smoker. I knew from my days in the Army Reserve, when we would conduct nighttime maneuvers and were supposed to be practicing noise and light discipline, the smokers in my unit would almost always give away our position by lighting up cigarettes, which could be seen from great distances. This is a screenshot from the video of my friend allegedly puffing on the cigarette, which you can clearly see. Unfortunately, due to my poor eyesight, despite cataract surgery in 2016, I could not see the tip of the cigarette was red and therefore kept repeatedly asking him to take a puff on the cigarette, when apparently he was. In addition to answering questions through the K2 meter and puffing on the cigarette, I attempted to get my friend to turn on a flashlight by tapping on it, which we have been able to get spirits to do at other locations. As indicated in the following video clip, my friend was unable to turn on the flashlight, apparently due to running out of energy. Okay, Ben, can you try to make the flashlight come on? Tap on the flashlight. Okay, can you touch the meter again to let us know you understand what I'm asking? Touch the meter to make it light up, that you understand what I'm asking. Because you've been lighting it up. Okay. Is the flashlight too hard for you to turn on? Is that what's going on? Okay. Okay, stop lighting the meter up for a second so I know this isn't just a coincidence that it's you. Okay, now light it up again so I know it's you. Can you light it up again? Light the meter up? Okay, thank you. Are you running out of energy? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to let you go for now, okay? Bye. Light up if you're ready to... Okay, bye now. Going back to the video where my friend allegedly took a few puffs on the cigarette, and it would appear that he knocked the cigarette off the holder. Though I initially thought he was a smoker, I started to have second thoughts after he seemingly knocked the cigarette down. So I contacted one of our mutual friends, Erica, and she confirmed that he was a smoker. Now this made me wonder why he would indicate through the K2 meter that he wasn't a smoker when he was. But rewatching the following replay shows that he did not actually indicate that he was not a smoker, rather that he merely did not feel like smoking at that particular time. Who knows, maybe he gave up smoking in the afterlife. I'm pretty sure you were a smoker. I don't remember you smoking in the pods because they were non-smoking, but I think you smoked. I hope we're not making you smoke and you don't want to. Is that you don't like smoking? Light the meter up and we won't make you smoke. Light the meter up again if you don't like to smoke. Whoop. Did you knock it down? With respect to whether or not my friend knocked the cigarette off the holder after indicating through the K2 meter that he did not want to smoke it, I have put a lot of thought into this. My initial thoughts were that the ashes on the tip of the cigarette are lighter than the tobacco and filter on the other end of the cigarette, and as the ashes grew longer, the end with the ashes got lighter as the end with the filter got heavier, and the cigarette eventually became unbalanced and fell to the ground. This is a screenshot showing the cigarette a split second before it fell. My question is, are the ashes long enough to put the cigarette out of balance? I have seen cigarettes balancing in ashtrays when the ashes were much longer than this, and the cigarette did not fall out of the ashtray. Regardless of anything else, there were a few takeaways that I got from this video. That my friend is at peace, that there was no foul play associated with his death, and he takes responsibility for it, and there's life after death. Now, did I present definitive proof in this video that my friend puffed on a cigarette, then knocked it off the holder? Of course not. The cigarette could have fallen off the holder because the cigarette became unbalanced as the ashes grew longer. But what caused the tip of the cigarette to turn red, which I didn't see while recording the video and only saw when I uploaded it to a larger computer monitor? And what caused the nicotine to get on the cigarette filter, which can only happen by inhaling on a cigarette? I will chalk it up to being interesting and let you, the viewer, decide for yourself. Until next time, this is Ghost Hunter Joe.